You are now watching the Movie Juice Podcast.
The juice is loose.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Movie Juice Podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm James.
Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Movie Juice!
Juice the movies! I like that.
How y'all doing?
What's brackin', bro? How you living?
Oh, this is a podcast. They can't talk back.
I mean, they can.
I'm sure.
We just want people to hear them.
I do it all the time. I'll be at work talking to the podcast I listen to.
All right. We watched Sinners.
We saw Sinners.
We watched Sinners.
Yeah.
Are you sinners? Let us know in the comments.
Well,
Would we recommend this movie?
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a fun time.
I'd recommend going and I'd even recommend seeing it in the theater.
I'd see it in premium. What do they call that shit? Premium.
No.
People say it on podcasts too all the time. Like the premium experience, like IMAX, Dolby.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like, I'd see it in the better.
A premium experience.
Yeah, something like that.
It was good though.
It was good. It was fun.
It's a little long in the tooth at times.
Michael B. Jordan's an attractive man.
Yeah.
God damn, you're not kidding.
And you get to see him twice.
There's two of them.
There's two of them.
There's two Michael B. Jordans.
Yeah, bro.
2 for the price of 1.
I wrote somewhere in my notes, Michael B. Jordan times 2.
Word.
Michael B. Jordan squared.
It's Killmonger and fucking Adonis Creed. at the
Adonis
same
Creed,
time.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good movie. You guys ready to step up to the juicer?
Hell yeah, I'm down.
Huh?
Let's juice this thing for all it's
Let's
worth.
fucking.
Noise.
All right, the movie starts. Warner Brothers.
Should Jeff just get like a little clip of a blender sound? So he
It's probably better than me going.
No. That was perfect.
Oh, okay. Maybe just clip that.
I don't know what the sound of a juicer makes.
I would imagine it's like a.
We've done this whole bit before.
Yeah, we have.
We'll figure it out and we'll let them know.
Well, we're 40 some episodes in and we haven't figured it out yet.
We
Yeah.
never will. Sorry, guys.
Warner Brothers.
Proximity.
Domain Entertainment. And then it opens to like a
Animation.
animation, and they're telling like a legend of like people making music so true it can pierce the veil of love and death, conjuring spirits of the past and future.
Title card.
Oh, is there a title card there?
Yeah.
Yeah, like right after.
Oh, I got the last title card. I didn't get the first one. That's my bad.
Because it attracts evil. The musical attracts evil. Some people call it different things. One of them called them Cree. I think it was like the native or the
West Africa.
The West Africans called them Creops.
Yeah, and they also call.
I don't know how to spell that, but I know it sounds like that.
I wrote Firekeepers and Phillies too. And then I wrote that's all of the names for them, and they will bring healing, but it could also attract evil.
And then we get the title card like right after that, basically.
And then it's opening up, and it's like the sun, and we're in Clarksdale, Mississippi,
1932, October something.
October 16th.
Okay, cool. Because I knew it was October. I got that far.
And then a man just kind of drives up to a church.
Yeah, he's got a little red car.
Yeah.
They're singing "This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine." And they're in, once you said, like you said, there's church, and the dude's name that's walking into the church,
Sammy.
His name's Sammy. He's all like bloody. He looks like shit.
Has half a guitar in his hand.
Yeah, his
limp.
face has a big scratch on it.
Yep.
Yep.
He's walking with a limp.
I've been hit with a few shells, but I don't walk with a limp.
Yeah.
50 Cent said that.
Yeah, he did.
I just walk with a limp because I'm a little bitch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Same in life beats me down.
Life just kicks my ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, you find out the dude's name's Sammy, and he's the son of the minister.
Yeah.
Preacher boy.
And they call him Preacher Boy up. And
Then
like
they start praying for him.
while his dad's like grabbing him, he's like having flashbacks to something that we don't know.
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
At one time, I thought they called him Pretty Boy. And I was like,
He was
that
pretty-
doesn't-
he was
that-
pretty, too.
I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. The preacher's son. Pretty Boy doesn't add up.
He was a bit of a handsome young man.
He was. This
He
was his
was
first
nice.
movie.
Really? He
'Cause
did
At
a
the
hell of
end,
a job.
it said introducing. I was like, what? No fucking. This is his first fucking movie. Like,
He did a hell of a job.
yeah, really good.
Good on him.
Yeah, like if he can act that well alongside Michael A. and Michael B. Jordan for his first movie, he's going places.
And Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
And his dad's like calling him a sinner, and he tells him that he needs to leave the sinning ways where he lies.
Yep.
Keeps having flashbacks.
And it cuts to one day earlier.
And he's trying to get him to drop the guitar. And he says, "Let it go in the name of God." and then one day earlier, and then he's out there working on the field,
Yeah.
humming.
Now, was he stealing cotton? Because
No,
the
no.
other people were working, but he was doing it before they were.
No,
Well, he
was-
said he met
was-
his quota for the day.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to.
He was trying to do it early.
Yeah, so he could go. With,
Gotcha. Okay, my bad. I couldn't tell because
So he
he
could
was
go
out there
back.
before everybody else, and like he was being all secretive. So I wasn't sure if he was like
Yeah.
stealing it for himself. I don't know.
And you find out that they sharecrop, which was a real
Because he said he was
thing.
working on something too. I thought. But I guess maybe he invented
Yeah,
music.
it's the music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I totally misread that scene.
They're sharecroppers, which was a big thing back in the Disney. Basically, like, you would just work the land so you could live there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But, with the field's really pretty. Like, they did a really good job shooting it,
Yeah.
I thought. And there's people out there.
And then he goes home,
Yep. And he goes
Yeah.
home and
talks to his mom.
talks to his mama. He kisses her, and he, like, fucks with her a little bit and goes inside.
Yeah, because he's
He
playing
like
with the
splashing
water.
the water on.
Yeah.
it.
And she's like, "Stop playing with that. It's gonna." She's like, "Don't put that on your body. It's gonna dry out your skin."
I was wondering if she was, like, making soap or something, and that's why
Yeah.
she said that.
Yeah.
I don't really
I was
know.
thinking like Fight Club, like was making soap. It had like a
Yeah.
lie in it or something.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes inside and he like wakes up these little kids, and it just kind of shows like his life.
Yep.
Because he
Yeah.
goes and like knocks on like some bunks or whatever.
Yeah.
And
And they're
then
all
he-
kind of living together in the same house.
He goes underneath his bed, and I guess he was pulling out his guitar, but it doesn't show him pull out his guitar from underneath his bed.
Right. He's going to pull it, but it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like feeling around for it.
And then it pans to Michael B. Jordan ×2.
Yep, Michael B. Jordan is classy and has a nice hat, and there's two of him.
Yeah. And they both have nice hats.
And I put bros playing a pair of twin brothers. And this is when you find out that the small red car that Sammy was in the beginning is their car.
Yep.
And then there's the white dude that rolls up. His name's
Yeah.
Hogwood.
I never got his fucking name.
Yeah, I never wrote his name down either.
Pretty sure it's Hogwood. And
Yeah.
he spits backer.
He's a hog, all right.
And he's like, "Are y'all two brothers?" And he's like, "They're like, no, we're not brothers.
We're just
Literally
cousins."
identical brothers. Like,
Because he's like, are you twins? I said, no, we're cousins.
we're cousins."
Dummy.
And then he's showing them an old sawmill.
Yeah.
And they're talking about it. And basically, he gets like, he like spits backer on their floor after they ask like if he washed the floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they like kind of get into it.
And
They
he
like,
calls him boy, too.
and they threaten him with their gun.
Because he's like, I didn't mean nothing by it. And I'm like, yeah, white people always saying that, but like, we know
Yeah.
we know what you're doing, asshole.
Yeah, they say that we are men with man money and man bullets.
And man bullets, yep. And they say, "Look, we're going to buy this place, the equipment and the land too. And if you or any of your clan buddies come on this property, we will kill you."
Yeah.
Like, them's the rules, and they violate the rules.
And he says, the clan doesn't even exist anymore, even though it's the fucking 30s. The
Yeah.
clan definitely exists. Sammy goes to church, and he's like talking to his pops.
Because you figure that's where his guitar went.
Yep.
And he's about to grab it from his dad, and it's like, no, you gotta read it from the Bible first.
Because he wants him to help him out with the sermon for tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he makes him read 1 Corinthians 10:13.
And he closes the Bible halfway through it because he's already got it memorized.
Yep.
Showing that, like, you know, he's done what his dad's asked him to, like, his
All the
whole
time.
life, you know?
And he wants to leave and go out with his cousins, and his dad is like giving him a hard time for it.
His
doesn't
dad hates
approve.
music.
Tells him that he wants to go play music because he's been working all week. And whenever he's going to leave, his dad tells him, "If you keep dancing with the devil, one day he's gonna follow you home."
Yeah, he quotes
Yeah.
Batman. He's dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Yep.
Which, I mean, he's not wrong.
And then you find out that he is the cousin of Michael B. Jordan because they come and pick him up from the church. And they're asking, like, "Does your dad beat you and stuff?" And he's like, "No, he's not beating me. He's just doesn't really approve of what I'm doing. But he's cool." He says that their ma hands out all the whoopings. And they start talking about Chicago because
Yeah.
that's where you
Yeah.
find out the twins were.
Yeah, and they came
for
back.
like for 7 years, and like they're like he's asking him like was he heard that Chicago was better, and they're both of them are like no, it's still just as bad. It's just got bigger buildings instead of
The plantation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they came back home to fight the devil they knew,
Yeah.
which I get it, I respect that.
And then there's like banjo music playing in the background because I liked
Yeah.
it. It was building the scene. And then they go to the woods, and I thought they had a still in the woods. Or it's not the woods, like the corn
Yeah.
or whatever. But they have a truck there that's full of booze.
Also full of a snake.
And there's a snake, and they stab it in the head with a knife.
Cool as shit too, because like fucking Michael A. Jordan pulls it out, and then fucking Michael B. Jordan grabs it and shoves it into his
Yeah,
head.
dude. Sweet
Yeah.
knife, bro.
Yeah.
Sweet fucking knife. Had like the knucks on it.
Yeah. It's fucking sick.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how they got to set up to open up their new place that night and start off with a bang. And, like, Stack is saying that. Which the brothers' names are Stack and Smoke, which you don't find out
Smokestack
yet.
Brothers.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
cool as fucking name.
Yeah.
And,
Smoke is like the more level-headed kind of guy. Stack's kind of the more kind of reckless one. Show off you a little bit.
yeah. And Smoke's like, yeah, but, like, what if we rush this and it's a misfire? Like, we fuck up. But then they decide that they're going to split up.
It's got to be tonight. Yeah.
And they tell each other that they love each other and they go their separate ways. Smoke is in the truck and Stack has the car.
Yep.
and Sammy goes with Smoke.
And Sammy
Stack.
goes with Stack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they go into town. Smoke
Smoke does.
Yeah.
By himself.
Yeah. Smoke pays a kid to watch the truck and then teaches him how to.
Haggle.
Yeah.
She's like, because he's like, I said 10 cents, but you got, the numbers, you gotta like work with me,
Yeah, make it
Which
work.
is funny because he it's like he's making it to where he says he has to pay her more,
Yeah.
but like it's almost like he's also trying to teach the younger people too, like we want to make it here, we gotta.
You got to get more out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're doing?
So like even though he's doing it to where he's paying her more, he's doing it because he's trying to help the little people.
Yeah, he gets her to say-
trying to help the younger people learn.
He gets her to say 15 cents, and he's like 20, the best I can do. And then he's like, lay on the horn, if anything happens. And he goes in the market, and there's a little girl there. They're an Asian family, Chinese. You find out.
Chinese American, yeah.
And the little girl's name is Lisa, and he asks for her dad, whose name is Bo. And they're boys, they come out, dap each other.
Yeah, like, oh shit, you've been gone a while.
He's
Big
like,
dog.
oh shit, my boy, my boy, the boys, yeah.
Friendship.
And then he's like, I heard you hit this casino's big up there in Chicago, and he's like,
We
yeah,
hit something.
we hit them, but not the way you'd think,
Yeah,
because they were robbing places.
yeah. Well, they hit him literally.
And then she starts laying on the horn. The girl, her name's Shelby, by the way. I did catch it. Which is literally, I was writing it down because I thought it might matter. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Because you never see her again.
Nope.
Start laying on the horn. He comes out, pulls out the gat. There's two dudes fucking with the back of his.
Pops. Yeah, the truck. He pops Tay right in the ass.
Yeah, he pops that dude
Yeah.
right in the fucking ass. And
And
he's
he
like,
shoots the other guy in the
yeah, he's
knee.
like, Terry, is that you? And he's like, how you doing? He's like, I was doing better before you shot me in the ass. And he found out they were working for Al Capone.
Yeah, I thought that. I wrote that down too. I was like, that's cool as hell, bro. So like,
Yeah.
that's what they're doing in Chicago. And
And then he shoots the other guy.
yeah, he's like, I wouldn't know this was your truck. Sorry. He's like, well, now you do. And then he pays Bo. He goes back inside and pays Bo for their medical bills.
Yeah, because he's like, what if I get sepsis?
Yeah. He's like, I'll make sure you're taken care of.
And then,
But I'm not gonna I don't want other people to know that I'm gonna let this slide. So
Right.
I have to give you
something.
repercussions. Yeah.
yeah.
Let them know I ain't.
Gotta give you something for your troubles,
Yeah.
And then he asks Bo about a sign for the place. So Lisa goes across the street to another shop
Gets the mom.
and gets the mom.
Yep.
Which kind of shows like these guys have like multiple stores they're running, which is smart.
Which her name is Grace.
Her name is Grace. And was this a one-take shot, like her walking to...
It looked
I
like
thought
yeah.
so.
Yeah, which is pretty cool if that's what they did.
Oh yeah, Kugler's really good at shots like that. The director.
And then she comes across the street and she's like, why are you bringing trouble? And
She's like, hey, you notice there's 2 people shot out there? He's like, yeah, that was me. Sorry.
yeah. And Bo's like, well, trouble ain't all he bringing. And then he shows her all that money. Because
Yeah.
like he went to Bo for like food, right? Like
Yeah.
food for the juke. And she's like, well, if I'm going to make you a sign, then it's going to be a rush job, so that's $20. And then they start haggling for that.
Yeah, and then he's like throwing some flowers. 14.
Yep. Well, he goes down to 14 because they only have one color and it's red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes to
gets the
15
flowers.
for the flowers to throw in.
And then it goes back to Stack and Sammy.
Yep.
And they're talking about eating pussy.
I literally put in my notes, Stack teaches Sammy cunnilingus.
I put
There's a special button you gotta push.
I leaned over to Sarah and I said, "Is he talking about eating pussy?" And then my next note just says, "I don't know, talking about ice cream or something. I don't fucking know."
He's like you gotta press. You press hard enough to get it, but not hard enough that it melts too fast.
Yep.
And I was like, damn.
Been there.
Yeah.
Big dog.
Big dog.
And then after that, they're talking about how
They start talking about
their dad
yeah
used to beat
Stack.
Stack, and he knocked him out, and then like while he was knocked out, Smoke pretty much killed their dad and buried him.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the time he had buried the dad, Stack woke up and was like, oh shit, dad's dead.
That's dead. Because basically just like showing that Smoke will do anything for Stack.
Because he's the older brother. Smoke is.
And then you find out that the Smokestack brothers gave Sammy that guitar.
Yep, and it was Charlie Patton's guitar, or so they say.
They say they won. He says that they won it in a card game.
Which is not true. We'll find out later.
And they start playing the guitar, and he can play good, and he starts singing.
Oh, yeah. And,
And he can sing, and Stack
Yeah.
fucking loves it. And he goes, "We gonna make some money."
He said, "Woo!"
And they go to a train station, And it's Stax and Sammy still. And there's a dude on the harmonica playing, and his name is Slim.
Yeah.
Which I didn't catch his name.
We didn't catch his name until like it was
Towards
already,
the fucking
till it was
end of the
vampire
movie.
time.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, that's how long it took to say.
Until he
fucking
says
name.
it at the end, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh fuck.
Yeah, because he's like they didn't catch motherfucking Slim. They ain't gonna get him now. I'm like, oh, that's his name.
Yeah, I think I wrote him down as old guy a lot.
I put harmonica guy.
Yeah, I think at one point I heard someone call him Slim, and I just wrote it down, not knowing that was his actual name
Yeah.
until the end.
Well, they were calling him Slim Delta a lot or something
Yeah.
too. And I guess like Delta's where they live or something.
Maybe
Because they say that a lot. They refer to the Delta, like I have something written down that says finest blues player in the Delta.
Maybe.
I don't know. Because some of them were, with the drawl that they had,
Yeah.
was hard to understand.
yeah.
I felt like it was really hard for me to catch what Slim was saying a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he was drunk half the movie.
And he was drunk.
But anyway, he's playing the harmonica, and he's like, "Oh, you gonna open a business, huh?" And he's like, "I've been playing at." You guys get to catch the name of the bar he plays
No.
at or something.
I did not.
But he's been playing this bar for like 10 years,
10
every
years.
Saturday.
And he's going to be there another 10 years, but he doesn't think he's going to be alive that long either.
Yeah, because he's basically like, look, you guys don't have longevity as to where like I can go to this place and know
Yes.
I know I'll be here every night.
It's
Yeah.
steady work versus like a maybe, you know? So
that maybe you pay me good for tonight, but that's just tonight.
yeah, because they offer him $20
Yeah.
that night, and he's like, "Yeah, you might be." He's like, "Yeah, that's $20 tonight, but that's not $20 a night."
Basically,
you know?
also just showing he has like loyalty too. Like,
Yeah.
You know? And then, but not for Irish beer apparently, because Stack pulls out an Irish beer and is like, "Hey man, try this shit."
Yeah,
And he's like, "Oh shit, that's pretty good."
offers him the Irish beer from Chicago, and he
Yeah.
likes it. And he's like, "We got 500 more bottles of this, ice cold."
You can have ice cold beer and how about $40 a night?
Yeah.
and then it's funny because it cuts to them playing the harmonica.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, it's a funny cut to be like, oh, he took the deal.
And then Mary walks over and confronts Stack about fucking her and dipping.
Well, I also wanted to talk about how
Perline.
Perline, but I also want to
I
say
never caught her name.
that Perline, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Perline.
She says like as soon as they meet. that's why I knew what it was.
That's why I didn't catch it, because I was just
I thought it was cool too at the end that the club he runs is called Perline.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But Stack says, "Y'all can come down to this and have a drink on the twins, and you can eat, drink, sweat till y'all stink." And I was like, "All right."
Cheers, I'll drink to that.
And then Perline shows up, and
Club
she's
Juke. That's what they're gonna
impressed
call
with
it, yeah.
Sammy, and we find out that she's a singer,
Yep.
and she's married. And he says, she's talking to Sammy, and he goes, "Happily?" And
that was great. She's like, don't push your luck.
she says, "Careful, boy, you're going to bite off more than you can chew."
And she gives him some side eye while she walks away. And I was like, oh shit, Sammy, go off.
And then there's a lady standing there, staring
Menacingly
menacingly.
Yeah.
at Stack.
And,
And Sammy's like, that bitch is staring at you.
Yeah,
He's like, oh fuck.
He's like, "Oh, fuck." And he's like, they start talking, and she's like, "You said you loved me, whatever." And he's like,
Or was that just like to get me in bed?
"Yeah," like, he's like,
Yes.
"I also told you to stay the fuck away from me." And she was like, "Yeah, but then you fucked me." Like, yeah.
That'll do it.
Basically, fucked her and ran, which, like,
Later we find out why he did it though, and it makes sense.
it does.
Yeah.
And she find out that her mom just died, and
Yeah.
that they buried her yesterday, and her name is Mary.
And she tells
She tells Stack to
to rot in hell, and he says, I'm sure I will.
and he's like,
that
"You're
was
gonna-"
cold as shit.
He also says that there'll be a spot right beside him for her.
Yeah. And then they all leave.
And then we find out that they have one more stop to make, and they're back in the car, and they drive past a chain gang,
Yep.
and Slim like knew all of those guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he says to them. He yells something at them, but I couldn't understand.
Yeah,
what
and
the
only
fuck
one
he
of
was
them.
saying.
One of them's
basically
like,
like
hey,
I think he
Slim.
says keep your head up or
You
something like
keep
that.
your head
something
up
like
or
that.
something.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
Then he-
one guy recognizes him, and then Sammy's like, "Hey, do they know who you are?"
It's like, oh, I know all of them. Yeah.
And then he goes into some story about how he had this buddy named Rice, and they got arrested. They got in trouble for something, and they did something wrong. And Rice, his buddy, like went, and he was gonna go to fucking Little Rock to start a church, and he got pocket checked at the train station, and the white dude searched him and said that he,
They pinned a bunch of stuff on him he didn't do.
they say he robbed a white man, so
Yeah.
they ended up
Well, Rob the white man like did something with his wife or something. I think.
he says that he got lynched at the railroad station, and they cut off his manhood
Yeah.
for that, which is fucking crazy.
And you can see the look on Sammy and them's faces like fuck. Man.
They're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
It's like there are places worse than Mississippi even, which is
Yeah.
crazy for all the shit that they've talked about before that.
Yeah. And then they start humming. Like, they start humming.
He also said he drank all his money away.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, because he's very much a drunk.
And then they stop by a field, and there's a man named Cornbread working. Him and his wife, Therese.
Well, this was also during Prohibition time, so like it was hard to come by.
Yeah, this probably was like, I
Yeah.
think Prohibition. I think you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Because Prohibition was definitely in the 30s. Which makes sense why they had to steal all that shit. And like it's like Irish beer and Italian wine. And then they're like, hey, we don't have time for your scheming. I'm behind on my quota. And Stack says, man, fuck your quota. And he's like, oh, man, don't be saying that in front of my wife. And then he said, man, fuck your wife, too. He's like, your wife gonna let you fuck her real good whenever you find out how much money I'm paying. Oh, it was during Prohibition. Yeah.
Shit, okay.
In 1920.
So that's why they were being so secretive about the beer.
Yeah.
That's why he was like, okay, that makes sense, actually.
He's like, hell, she might even let you put your pecker in her mouth.
And he said, I think he's, what did he say? Because then, like, he's all mad. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna punch the black off you.
Yeah. And then his wife is like, wait, how much money is it?
And then he shows her.
And he's like, wait, you're actually entertaining this? And she's like, I mean, if it's better money, and if it comes out, we found out later, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are flashing this cash around, man.
And Stax is like, oh yeah, that's a good woman you got there. And then it cuts to Smoke going to a building, or like a little house.
Yeah, and he goes to like a little tiny grave and puts flowers on. He also said, it's okay, Papa's here.
Yeah, he does say that.
Because at first I thought it was his dad's grave.
I did too at first, and then I kind of
it honestly wasn't until the end of the movie.
I saw the tiny little handprint. I knew that wasn't their father.
And they talk about a baby, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I still don't think I don't know if I missed something about what happened to the baby, whether it was a miscarriage or something. I'm not sure what exactly happened. But
And then a woman comes out and starts talking to him, and then you find out her name is Annie.
And she says, no misery is worth complaining about.
I felt that.
I was like, oh, okay. And then he starts telling her about how they're going to open up the sawmill.
Yep.
He tells her that he's done with Chicago. And she says, are you through with Chicago, or was Chicago through with y'all? And she's like, who did you rob? And he follows her inside, and there's like little kids inside, and you find out that she's like, I guess she practices voodoo? Because it doesn't ever say what she practiced.
I think she does like occult stuff like that of the occult in as well.
Yeah.
It's like Mississippi, and it's like close to Louisiana.
Yeah.
So, and Louisiana was real famous for
It's some kind of
voodoo.
witchcraft. Yeah.
It's got to be.
For sure.
And I'm not...
And this is like before like crystals were popular.
Yeah.
So I would have assumed.
I'm not at liberty to talk about the difference between voodoo and witchcraft because I do not know.
I genuinely do not know either.
To me, they're both pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so other than like cultural differences.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But
And she's selling some stuff to some kids too.
and she's selling it to him for like I guess like the plantation dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he tries to like give her real money, and she's like, "Your money comes with blood on it." And he's like, "All money comes with blood
on it."
And
She basically just talked about like she knows she's not leaving anytime soon. Like there's no point to get real money when this works just as good. Like she's basically just like stagnant in her circumstance basically of like I kind of get it where she's kind of like people not making it out of like their hometown.
yeah.
Like they're like she knows she's not going anywhere. It's like I'm not gonna leave.
And they start talking about this baggie that she gave him with some kind of root in it.
Mojo bag.
Mojo bag. Thank you.
And it's supposed to like protect him.
She's like, "Are you still wearing it?" And he shows it to her, and she's like, basically, you find out that she's been doing all kinds of shit to like keep them safe while they were gone.
And then he's basically like, "Oh yeah, you doing all that shit, but did it keep the baby safe?"
Yeah, because he was just like,
he said,
if all this stuff works, why didn't it work on our baby?
Yep.
And then that's where we get his real name for the first time, Elijah.
Elijah.
And then
they basically
he lights a pipe, she lights a candle, starts praying.
Yep.
And then he gets
he asks her to be the cook at the Jew.
Yeah, that's right.
And he says that it hurts coming back here, but he loves her and misses her.
And that's what she called him.
And then she starts fucking.
Because she's like, does it really hurt that much to say? And he's like, and that's when he's like, yeah, no, I did miss you. You know, like it hurts to be back here, but I did miss you.
And then she hugs him and kisses him and grabs his dong.
And she's like, your body didn't miss me because I guess he's got a boner.
Yeah, your body ain't forget me.
Yeah.
And then she like says something to him in a different language, and then they start fucking.
Yeah.
He bends her over crazy style, and Raw Dogs are in the cabin.
Raw Dogs are get some stanky on his hangdown.
Yeah, he gets some stinky on the hangdown.
I wrote Raw Dogged her in cabin witchcraft voodoo style. And then it's like, hell yeah, they got their cook and their food and their band. Shit, they might even have a sign. And everybody smoked cigarettes in the 30s. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Because that's the opening shot too of the brothers is Smoke's rolling up a cigarette or Stack's rolling up a cigarette and hands it to Smoke and they smoke the cigarette.
Yep.
And then it shows Bo and Grace leaving.
Yeah. And then it's like a whole little montage of like everybody gearing up for the evening.
For another evening. And then it cuts to this house and there's a dude running on fire.
Yeah.
Or like,
He's
smoking. And
not smoking. He's like his body is smoking.
I put his skin as smoking.
Hey, that's a good description.
And he goes and knocks on this door, and he's like, I thought I could trust these people, but they tried to kill me. And he's like, they killed my wife. And then you see that, like, the people that open the door are, like, holding him at gunpoint. And you see that they are Klan people.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, a fucking big white hood in there.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, look, I have gold. Just don't let them hurt me anymore. And they let him inside their house.
Which you're not supposed to do.
Well, hey, you don't know that yet.
I'm just saying, I knew when he was like, please let me in. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Which
I've watched enough Buffy and Angel to know.
Yeah.
you don't let him in.
I didn't know that this was a vampire movie.
Really?
I thought it was, like, demons or something.
I only knew it was a vampire movie because I watched the live streams that Dead Meat does, and like for the longest time, even before they filmed this movie, like the reports people were getting were like Ryan Coogler's making a vampire movie. And I was like, okay, interesting. So it's just weird that I've always known it's a vampire movie, but they're not marketing it. Like the second trailer definitely did, which is an issue I have with the movie because like that second trailer pissed me off with how much it gave away. But it still made the movie really good to watch. Like it didn't ruin the whole thing.
And then, there's a dickhead in here whose phone keeps going off. Fuck you, die. No, man, there's this dickhead.
This is the first time we watched the movie like separately.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
The fucking guy beside me whose flashlight kept going on.
Yeah, so this fucking cocksucker.
Oh, that's like when we saw In a Violent Nature, and that one guy's phone was set to flash when he got text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kept fucking going off like
Yeah.
the first half of this fucking movie.
The end of our movie, some like right before the mid-credit scene, some guy was having his flash on him, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, and it was just like, dude, can you please... And also him and the dumb bitch he was with would not shut the fuck up, like, at the beginning.
Yeah.
They kept talking to each other. And I'd be like, you know, people are in here, like, trying to watch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
My dumb ass has to take fucking notes on the goddamn thing. Like, shut the fuck up.
We had people that were laughing, but like I think they were just laughing at the movie. They weren't,
Well, like, that's
talking or anything.
different.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like,
I'm just saying, like, you know,
But anyway.
at least it wasn't a crying baby.
Oh,
Or somebody coughing.
Native Americans show up.
Yep.
And, guns are pulled. And they're, like, telling him, like, hey, this man is dangerous.
Yeah.
Do
He's
not
like,
let
please
him
don't
inside.
tell me you let him in.
And they're like, no, we haven't seen him.
Because if you let him in, we have to act now.
He's
Yeah.
like, he's not what he seems.
And then in their language, the guy behind him was like, look, we got to get home before dark, so just forget about it.
And then the lady goes inside and she's like, Bert.
Bert.
There were some native... Well, she says,
Yeah.
but there were some Native Americans there. They came and went. And she goes, Bert. Bert. And I just wrote, Bert is now a vampire. This is a fucking vampire movie. Because it shows like where... What's his name? Rumeric?
I never got his name.
I never
down.
got his
I think it's
name.
like Rumeric or something.
Yeah, I knew sorry with an R.
I
but
just put him down
never
as
got it.
leader.
Yeah, I put lead vampire.
Yeah.
But Rumeric is like sitting there and Bert's like fucking dead. Well, dead. About to come back.
Yeah.
And then he like red eye attacks the lady
Yeah.
and she's fucking no! Oh my god, this vampire! And then it goes to the juke.
Yep.
And they have power and they're partying. Dude, fuck this dude. I guess his phone went off again. And there's like this man and he's like, hey, I don't want any of the fancy stuff. I just want corn liquor. And he pays with the fucking wooden nickels that are the plantation money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Smoke immediately has a problem with
Yeah,
that.
he stink eyes. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they have to go talk in the back.
Which I would also have a fucking problem with.
Yeah,
that.
like,
like
We need money, not
fake plantation money.
right.
The
Yeah.
wooden nickels.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Oktoberfest tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like if you fucking paid me with coupons.
Yeah, it'd be like if you gave me like coins from Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck's your problem?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'll suck your dick right now.
Cool, I can go get a piece of bubblegum. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, fucking dickhead. Fuck you, man.
And then Sammy's stunting on Pearline a little bit. He's like, how you doing? Trying to get a little sweet on her.
Yeah. And then Mary shows up and Cornbread's running security.
Yeah, and Cornbread like lets her in.
Well, it takes me a minute though, because he's like, I don't think you want to be here, and then he doesn't realize who it is at first. Like, oh,
Yeah, he realizes that it's Mary.
Little Miss Mary.
And then Pearline's there. Sammy isn't always nice, and he ain't that young. That's what he says to Pearline.
Yeah.
Try to act big.
Yeah,
try to
bro.
act grown.
He's like, I ain't that young. What's up? I'm like 20. Like,
And then
I wish I was still 20.
Yeah, me too, man.
What was the age of drinking then?
Well, since they weren't allowed to, who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
because Mary says, oh, you're old enough to drink now. Yeah.
I figure it was 18.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, for a long time, I think people could get, like, beer
Yeah.
at 18. But I don't know if that's always been...
The age limits established in the 1930s remained 18 and 21 for beer and spirituous liquors.
Okay, so yeah, 18 for beer, basically.
18 for beer, yeah.
Oh, in 1932, the United States was still under prohibition, which meant alcohol was illegal nationwide. However, President Franklin D. Roosevelt campaigned on a platform repealing it in 1933.
We should bring back Prohibition.
So therefore,
Just because, like,
there wasn't a specific legal drinking age
you know
in
how cool it would
1932.
be to be, like, in an underground drinking club?
That's true.
That would be cool as
Let's
fuck.
all get suits and wear them all the time.
Dude, when he takes off his fucking jacket, he's got like, the cool ass fucking double
That's-
fucking holsters, bro.
And his fucking, he's jacked.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be that jacked in the 30s.
Well, he was a military man.
Let's,
They're both
Yeah, but there's not fucking nutrition
Let's
and
start-
protein. Like,
let's start mobbing again. They had mobs back in the day.
dude, let's start
And they wore suits.
the movie Juice Mob.
Yeah,
That's what we should call the fans.
Oh, dude!
movie Juice Mafia.
Oh, fuck, son.
Jeff, write that down. Write that down. Write that down.
Merch.
But anyway, shows Mary and Cornbread talking again, and he apologizes about her mom. Cornbread's a cool guy. I like Cornbread a lot. Smoke and Stack are still mad about the money. Sammy asks Pearline. There's a lot of back and forth in this movie. That's kind of hard to keep up with sometimes. Because it's back to Pearline and Sammy, and he asks if her husband coming. She says no. Sammy sees Mary, and he goes and talking to her, and that's when she asks him about the drinking age. She buys him a drink. Smoke doesn't want to take the wooden nickels. Bad for business. And she's asking him if he's like making money with that guitar yet, and he says no, he's not making any money. And he asks Mary what she is, and she's like, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And this
Not
is
for long.
and this is when you find out that she's a quarter black, and then you kind of get like the connection between her and the twins. You find out that Mary's mom took care of the twins,
Yep, delivered him.
and she's kind of talking shit about the twins. And Smoke rolls up behind her,
Yeah.
and she's like, they didn't even send my mom flowers when she died. And he was like,
Yeah, we did.
We sent her plenty flowers when she was alive,
Like
and,
she
it was like, oh, fuck, when she was alive, and like
when she was alive and able to smell them.
Yeah.
And then he sends Sammy away, and then it's back to Smoke and Stack talking. Stack goes and talks to Mary, and he tries to kick her out. And he's like, how much money?
It's cool intercut too, or that might be later. Because like one's talking to her, one's talking to Sammy. That might,
Yeah,
that might be
he
later.
also tells Sammy to go check on Slim. See if it's
Yeah.
his turn to play or not.
Yeah.
And he's like, how much to get you to get the fuck on?
This is when I wrote down harmonica's name. Harmonica guy's name is Slim.
Gotcha.
And then you find out that Mary's a tough lady.
Yeah.
And
Basically, it's like Stack just wanted Mary to be safe, and he knew that she never would be while he was around.
Yeah, 'cause
So, like
he-
he really does care about her.
he told her, she's like, you taught me how to be tough and to fight. And he's like, yeah, well, I also taught you to walk away when the money is up.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got a rich white husband and the farm.
He's like, I didn't want any of that. I wanted you.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, you'll die if you're seen here.
And she's basically like, look, I don't care. Like, I love you. Like, I don't care if loving you is wrong. I don't want to be right.
Yep. And she's like,
He also
He's-
he tells her that like he would basically kill for her, but now it's just not the time to be together.
yeah, she's like, oh, you'll kill for me, but you won't tell me the truth. She's like, I waited for you, but I've grown now and knows that you never planned to say. And she's like, just say it. And he's like, say what?
That I loved you.
That I love you,
Cared for you.
that I think about you every day. I just want to keep you someplace safe.
And that's
And that
not
was
next
never
to
going to
me.
be here. It was never going to be with me.
Yep.
And then Mary cries and Sack walks away. And then it goes to Slim
Yep.
playing the piano.
And then he introduces Sammy, and then he makes Sammy introduce himself.
Yeah, he says, tell him who you are and where you're from. Sammy Moore from Sunflower Plantation.
My daddy's a preacher. They call me Preacher Boy.
And
And
he
then
says,
he
and
fucking kills him.
I wrote this song for him. And then he plays a song, and everybody loves it.
This is like
Yeah, he's-
the best scene in the movie.
He's like, this
Yeah.
one's for Dad.
Like, literally.
That boy can sing, and everybody's feeling it. And then you hear the legend from the beginning again.
Yeah.
They start talking about
Yeah.
it.
And then, like, he basically transcends time.
Yeah, like
it's
he-
fucking cool.
like there's a man playing the electric guitar.
which I guess must be like Hendrix or Prince or
yeah.
Yeah.
and then like there's crumping guys. There's like a
DJ.
DJ, dude, like the whole thing was awesome.
And then it goes to like West African type drum
Yeah.
circles type things. The guy
Yeah.
with the dancing. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very
And then it also shows Grace and Bo, and there's like a geisha
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is really
Yeah.
fucking cool. It's just like showing like all forms of art that like what they say pierce the veil basically.
Yeah.
That like I guess and it all kind of yeah. That's literally my note. Believe it or not.
No, I almost started singing.
Yeah.
My bad. So much shit is happening right now. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah,
The scene's cool.
It's,
And
just,
then
it's one of those scenes that like we can't do it justice. Just watch the movie.
watch the movie.
It's great.
Yeah, dude.
There's also a ballerina. Like,
Yeah.
And like the music kind of goes like from like old timey to like intercut with all the kind of
Newer
newer stuff,
stuff.
and it's really good.
and then like all of a sudden the ceiling's on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's like basically the place is burned down,
Yeah, and
which
they're
is
still
basically
dancing.
to show him like them
He's
piercing
tearing the
veil.
house down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And then like, but that's when the
burning down the house.
Yeah.
And I also wrote, I think he's summoning evil shit
Yeah,
now.
just like they said earlier, you know, it can open the barrier between life and death, but also
Good and
invites
evil.
chaos.
He invites the evil.
Yeah, which is basically like that's why the building kind of falls away, and you see they're like honing in on him.
With great musical powers comes great musical responsibilities.
Cheers, I'll drink to that.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Guitar Man.
Whoa. Spider-Punk? And then the three vampires are standing there, and they're looking at them through the burning building. And that isn't actually burning, but we will say it's burning anyway.
Yeah, motherfucker showed up like the Lumineers.
Yep. and then it's like it's over, and Sammy and Perline are making out. They gonna fuck. Go Sammy. And then he's
Got
gonna
him, boy,
eat.
Sammy.
He gonna eat that pussy, and she's like,
Yeah.
wait, let me wash up first.
He's like, no, I want to taste you.
And I said, nasty motherfucker. Hell yeah.
Respect.
He got all the stank. You know what I mean?
Oh,
She
man.
even said, "I walked here."
And he's like,
I want it.
Well, I don't know. October in Mississippi, it may not have been that hot.
yeah, but he's over here going, let me taste it.
I don't know. The humidity might have been pretty
Yeah,
bad.
it's true.
Because that's like right between, like, it just now turning to fall. I don't know.
And then he just starts eating. And I just write, eat that pussy, Sammy.
And he literally tries to trick the Stack on him.
Yeah.
And then Stat goes to unlock the door.
He's like, hey, who the fuck's in here? And then,
And
and then he hears her calling Preacher Boy. He's like, oh, shit, he's trying that trick.
And he says,
Moaning.
boy found that button, didn't he?
And he's just like, my man.
My man. And then he gets Grace to listen. He's like, yeah, listen to my boy.
Listen to my cousin. And she's like, what the fuck?
And then it shows his cornbread being a bouncer. And he's talking to a guy. And he sees the people walking up. And he's like, go get the twins.
Yeah.
And Smoke and Stack show up. And they're just like,
They're in the back talking about their money situation.
yeah.
Yeah, their names are Joan Burt and other guy. And I put in parentheses, didn't catch his name.
Yeah.
Well, before that, though,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the money.
Yeah, because they're talking about, like, in 2 months, they're going to be out of fresh cash.
Yeah, because of all
Yeah.
the plantation money that's coming in.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, but people are here for the party. Drink food and listen to blues music. Drink, food, blues music. And then you find out about they say they're musicians, Joan, Burt, and Rumerick. And they say that they're hungry as dogs, woof woof. And the boys show up.
Yeah.
Tells Sammy how beautiful his voice is. They're like, where are y'all from? Just down the road. And they say they're from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Represent.
Shouts out. Say they aren't clan.
Represent the 828.
They say they aren't clan, and they believe in equality and music.
And then they go into Bobby Clean.
Yeah, pick Robbie Clean, something like that. Juke joint.
And they're like, yeah, no, we play blues here, sir.
Yeah, they're like, y'all can just, there's like a couple places back in town for the white folk, so you can get out of here.
And basically, my whole note was just like, because they're like, oh, because you talking about like how he's like, oh, we're not clan. I was like, buddy, it's not because you're white. It's because we don't fucking know you.
Yeah, it's because we don't know you.
Yeah, like, and then we don't want people in here we don't know because you're gonna cause some. Because I mean, even I think Smoke's one who brings up is like how long until like one of them looks at us, we look at him a little too wrong.
Yeah, or like one of them actually
Yeah.
brushes up against the lady.
Because they even say they even like, oh, why's she in there? She's like, look, she's family.
Yeah, they're talking about Mary.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why does she get to be in there then? Because, she quarter black, very much looks like a white woman.
Yeah.
You know?
like,
And
his name is
No
Remick.
new friends, no new.
Remick.
Remick.
Oh,
That's
That was
his
close.
name. I was looking it up on IMDb.
And
basically like, look, we ain't want no new friends.
he says, she's family, and he's like, can't we all be family? And then
Just
Smoke
for one-
pulls
just
his
for one
gun
night,
on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, get the fuck out of here.
And they're like, well, we're going to leave, but we're going to walk real slow just in case you change your mind.
Which is basically code for we're just gonna hang out here until opportunity presents itself.
And then they start talking about this thing called the trunk, which comes back later. That they
Yeah.
didn't bring the trunk in.
Yep. Which is like the third act crux.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what if they just came to play? And then and they start talking about the problems. And they're like, Cornbread, don't let them in. And I just put Smort. And then Sammy and Smoke are talking. And Sammy thanks Smoke. Smoke says he ain't never met a happy musician because he's telling him how he shouldn't keep being a musician.
Yeah.
And Sammy
He's
says,
like stick to playing like church music.
yeah, he says today. Sammy says that today made him feel like he was flying.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna leave.
And he's going to head off on his own. He's going to go to Chicago. And this is whenever it's doing like the shot you were talking about earlier, where it's switching between them talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it also has Stack and Mary talking, and he's telling her about how like they're in the hole already, and they start talking about the white people that are outside because like Stack is contemplating letting them in for their money.
Yeah. Because like we need the money. You know,
Yeah.
They just talk about it. And basically he gives Mary a gun and says, go out and go and suss them out.
And then also I think Smoke is talking to Sammy about their dad and how they tried to move somewhere, but like it's like a place for just black people, I would assume.
It was
What did they
I think
say?
they said New Orleans or like Louisiana.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because basically, like, the mayor knew their dad, and they knew that their dad was, like, pure evil.
Yeah.
So he assumed that he imprinted that evil on them. He's talking about Smoke and Stack.
Yeah.
And basically, he's just telling them that because, like, Sammy obviously isn't evil.
Right.
And, like, his dad is good, and that he should just stay there and make the church music and leave the improper shit to them.
Right.
Yeah. And then Sammy also says that, like, that he's leaving, and if Smoke doesn't like it, then he can kill him now. That's when he points the gun
He's
out.
like, I'm a
Right.
soldier, and you gave me a command. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
And then it
But then
shows...
because then you also find out while Stack's talking to Mary that they robbed the Irish and the Italians and blamed it on each other, so they went after them while they got away
Yeah.
with all their shit.
And she's like, a lot of people know y'all, though. They're going to figure out what happened. And,
He's like, yeah, eventually. Or like, yeah, maybe.
And then Smoke fires Sammy, tells him this is his last night playing
yeah,
there,
like you ain't gonna play here again.
and they're gonna be fucked.
Sammy's
when
like,
the law
look,
finds
if you don't like it, it don't matter. Like,
Yeah.
I'm living my own life, not for anybody else, which I respect.
So then Mary and Stack basically decide, all right, let's go. Mary's gonna go talk to the people that came up, Rumick, Joan, and Bert,
Yep.
and like see if they're cool, kind of feel them out, and then she's
Yeah.
gonna invite them in if they're all right. So Stack gives her a weapon. And she goes, and then this is whenever Smoke is threatening to kill him if he keeps playing music.
Yep.
And if it's a problem, kill me now because I'm leaving. Smoke's really going to do it. Sammy's scared. And then Mary walks out.
And they
to
start
the
playing this banger of a song.
It really was good. Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
it a lot.
They're just sitting on a bench playing. Mary's cooked. This song goes hard. Go, Lassie, go.
Yeah.
She claps for them. She begins to clap for them whenever they finish.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I just came out here to see if y'all were good people.
This
and he
is-
says, we most surely are.
This is like the first. I'm sure she's done other movies other than Spider-Man. This is like the first live-action movie I've seen her in where I haven't seen her sing in since like True Grit.
Yeah. True Grit's a good fucking. We should do that.
Yeah. But yeah, because the last two movies I saw her live action in was Pitch Perfect 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Never seen the first one, but I've seen 2 and 3.
It's funny. I've seen only the first one.
I think I've seen 1 and 2.
I
Never seen the third
took
one.
2 separate dates, one to see the second one and one different one years later to go see the third one.
Very
Oh,
nice.
see.
Yeah. They're talking about how they have gold, and she's
Yeah,
like,
they
what
got
kind,
like pockets of gold.
what kind of gold? And he says the solid gold kind from a different place and a different time. And he says it spins just the same.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, but we know that you don't really want money. You're in deep, deep pain that money can't fix. And he's like, he tells her, like, you came over here for fellowship and love. And then, like every time he says something, like, Joan and Bert are, like, repeating what he says.
Yeah.
Like little cronies.
Yeah. And he's, like, immediately knows that she, like, lost a mother. And that losing a mother is a hurting feeling. And he's like, I wish I would have known. I wish I could have saved your mom.
Yeah, it's like in the moment before you know what's going on, you're like, that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, like, I could save you, basically is what he says. And she's like, I'm sad, but I don't need saving. And he says, yes, you do. And then his eyes turn red.
Yeah. And
And,
she's like, oh shit.
She pulls the gat,
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this pissed me off.
Why would you turn your back?
Why would you turn your back on him?
Yeah.
She goes to go back
I would
inside.
like walk like.
Yeah, I'd fucking walk backwards with my fucking
backwards.
gun pointed at him. But she turns around, starts walking back in, and he like flies up, and then it cuts to back inside.
I swear, white people in horror movies are the dumbest fucking people.
Yeah. And dude starts flying. Perline is now singing, and Sammy's looking at her like he just tore her up, probably because he did.
Yeah.
You go, Sammy. And I just wrote, Sammy looking at her like she tore her up, probably because he did. And then Cornbread lets Mary back in.
Well, also, like, as she walks away, he fucking levitates. He levitates over her.
Yeah. Like when she turns her back, he like
Yeah.
starts flying at her. Yeah. I said that.
Okay.
He does it again later.
He hits with that fucking vampire John. You know what I
he's
mean?
like, rah!
That, ooh, you know what I mean?
I want to suck your blood.
I want to fuck your. Wait, what?
Hold up.
I want to fuck your ass. That's probably porn.
That's probably Iron Sheik, dude.
Anyway,
So yeah, so because like it's clear that like she's needing to be invited in and fucking
Cornbread just
dumbass,
lets her
like,
in.
Yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
and then he tells Slim to watch the door for Cornbread because he's got to piss.
Yeah.
Cornbread cooked all of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Good job, Cornbread. You're a terrible security guard.
Because Slim literally says, "Why can't you just piss right here?" He's joking, but if he would have, they would have been fine.
They would have been fine. And
Slim, what's your reason?
Mary goes and gets Stack and shows him the time to tell him it's on.
Pretty much.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was on there about the fuck.
She gives him the fuck me eyes,
And
and
then-
then they kiss. He's like, "Whoa!"
He tries to kiss Stack and he's like, nah. And
But
then
then he's like, "Ain't no one looking. Let's go to the back room."
she says, oh, so you can rob trains and bakes but can't steal this pussy for a night? And I wrote,
Yeah.
sheesh.
Cold.
Yeah. So somebody said that to me, I'd be like, "Urgh." You know what I mean? You know Patrick's face. Patrick's face whenever he only has one tooth. There you go. Cornbread peeing. Somebody says his name,
Yeah, they get cornbread real quick.
and then like some shit goes down in the club. You find out that like these two dudes got into a fuss.
Also, earlier, one of them says Stack's real name.
His name's Elias.
Elias,
Yeah.
I just want to mention that because I had it for Elijah, too.
And some dude like cut another dude with a straight razor because he got accused of cheating.
Yeah.
Because he was using loaded dice.
And that gash was fucking
Deep.
Yeah,
Fuck.
dude. Because like, later on, they're like, yeah, you're going to need stitches. I'm like, yeah, no shit, that thing is deep.
But like, so this is another one of those times where it's cutting a lot because it's like Smoke goes to deal with the fuss. Stack is going to go fuck Mary. Perline is still singing.
Great fucking song, by the way.
Yeah, she's also kind of like dry humping the stage too.
Yeah, they're all
dude.
fucking jamming, bro. It's cool.
Things are about to go crazy. Smoke beats Straight Razor dude's ass.
Yeah, like he like pops it. He's like, I just want to leave peacefully. He's like, you ain't leaving peacefully. You fucking cut one of my dudes.
I accidentally just bopped the microphone with
Oh,
my hat.
And then he
Whoops.
fucking bops him and get him on the ground. They pull out the loaded dice. Like, yeah, them loaded dice.
Yeah, and then he
beat
like
his ass.
all the other dudes start kicking his fucking
Yeah.
ass. And then the club's popping, you know, everything's going crazy. Mary and Stack are fucking. Mary drools in his mouth. She starts drooling.
And she's like, you want some? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
And I was like, I don't know.
Maybe for some people, not for me.
Not for me.
And then he gets some stinking tank down.
And then she starts like riding that dong.
Yeah, she's riding that dong, and then because Sammy walks in,
munching on that neck.
because Smoke wanted him to go get Stack because of the cheating guy. And Stack walks in, he's like, oh shit, okay.
He's getting freaky.
Yeah, he sends Sammy to get Stack.
What part do you think he saw? You think he saw the drooling?
Nah, whenever he walks
When he
in.
walks in, she's just grinding.
Yeah, she's just like riding his dick. Yeah. Cowgirl crazy style. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
She's like, whoa.
For a split second, he's probably, hey, my man.
My man.
My man. Stack and Mary fucking.
And then he goes back to Smoke, and he's like, where the fuck's Stack? He's like, oh, he's busy. He's like, he's not busy, go get him. He's like, I'm not gonna go get him. You can go get him.
Yeah, he tells him that he's like fucking Mary. And he's like, I don't care what he's doing. And they go in there and he's like, where the hell's Cornbread? And he's like, why did he leave you to watch the door talking to Slim?
Yeah,
Because
he's
Slim's
like,
watching the door.
he had to go piss.
And then he walks in and Mary is killing Stack.
Yeah, like,
she
like
is.
biting his neck. And she's like, it's not what you think it is.
And then he pulls the.
And this is the coolest fuck. He just fucking pulls both of them. Because it's like the music's still going. He's like, it's like kind of like all the fucking music kind of stops in his head. He's like, and then like when he realizes what's going on, he just pulls out both guns. He's like, pop, 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 pop. He like empties the whole fucking clip.
Yep.
The whole club's like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened? It's a cool fucking scene.
And he lights her up and she falls over, but she immediately gets back up. And she says, we're going to kill every last one of you, and then runs away.
And then he pops her in the head one more time with his last bullet.
And then Stack is dying, and I wrote,
I put Stack dead? Question mark. Doubt it.
I put Stack is killed, or is he?
Yeah, because the second trailer gave it away.
Old-
That's a whole nitpick for this movie. I hate.
Old dude's name is Sammy. What?
Slim, you mean?
Yeah, probably. And then they tell everybody they gotta go, they gotta get out. And I like how Bo and Grace stand on business because they work there too. They're like, yeah, y'all gotta get the fuck out. It's time to go.
Right.
And Sammy starts blaming himself. He's like,
And he's like,
something.
don't blame yourself.
They were fucking Sammy. It ain't your fault.
Well, also, Grace kind of sends Bo to his death.
Yeah.
Yeah, later though.
Yeah, like a few, like not very like later, but like a couple minutes.
She said Smoke, we gotta move his body outside just for now. Smoke
Well, also because
says no.
he's like, don't you have some sort of thing you can do? She's like, he's already dead. Like,
Yeah, he's already dead.
nothing I could do could save him.
But Smoke says no, and like Annie, this is Annie.
Annie's starting to get smart.
She immediately is
yeah.
like, something's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you emptied 2 whole clips into her. She no-sold it like it was nothing.
She's like, look, everybody should stay inside, but we
Yeah.
need to get the dead body out of here.
He's like, it's not my dead brother. That's not a dead body. It's my brother.
Yeah.
Kind of like Shaun of the Dead. Like, that's my mom.
And he's like, do you not have any magic to bring him back or a mojo bag for him? And she's like, she can't. He's gone.
Yeah.
And Smoke says the best thing about him was Stack. And I was like, damn. And then Grace and Bo want to leave because Lisa is waiting.
Yeah.
And this is whenever she sends
Dude,
Bo to his death.
Although she does say, we signed up to help them with the bar, not helping them with this.
Yeah, she's right.
And we also have a daughter to think about.
Dude, that's also like, I missed the part where that's my problem moment.
Which, speaking of their daughter,
Whatever happens to her.
yeah, because like,
Well, I assume that the town hasn't been attacked yet.
yeah,
Because it seems like they're trying to... Because they're just trying to get Sammy.
yeah.
Yeah, well, like,
Because they mentioned they're gonna go kill the daughter, but I don't think they ever did.
I don't think they ever do.
So like,
because I also...
she just has no parents now.
Yeah, she's an orphan.
At least she was like 13, 14. Like, she's a
Yeah.
little bit older.
Yeah.
She inherits all that money.
Yeah, she has 2 shops to run. Good luck, lady.
Ain't gonna need some help.
Yeah, but they lock Stack inside the room, and Cornbread comes back, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, And Annie's like,
He's like, all right, let me back in. I'm like, what do you mean?
And he's like, yeah, like, can y'all let me in? And she's like,
No.
why can't you come in without an invite?
Yeah.
You because Smoke's like, you've been doing it all night.
Yeah.
He's like, he goes on a whole big long spiel trying to like not get caught. He's like, look, man, it's not polite.
Yeah, but like he was like, you've been here all day without an invite. Why do you need one now?
Yeah, why you need one now? And because he starts like listening to Annie. He's like, hey, I'm just trying to be kind and polite. Slim's still drinking, lol. Cornbread acts are cool, trying to get them to invite him. Smoke is caught on. And then Cornbread's like, it'd be your own people that do this, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
You know? Because Cornbread's like, well, you better at least fucking pay me.
Because before he walks away, he's like, you ain't no better than the white man.
And
Which I thought then he was going to pull his gun out. Because I would have. I'd be like, hey, don't you fucking equate me to those fuckers.
Yeah.
Smoke goes to give him the money, and Cornbread grabs him and tries to bite him, but Smoke like shoots
Pops him in the head right before it's cool. So he's like, bah!
Yeah, he like shoots him in like the fucking cheek, bro. Because
his cheeks fucked up the rest of the movie.
Yeah, his face is all fucked up. And then Annie grabs him and pulls him back in.
Oh, did you get bit? Did you get bit? He's like, no, I'm good.
And it's so funny because Slim's like freaking out and his voice cracks, and then he says that he thinks he shit himself.
Yeah, he was like, y'all.
He's like, y'all smell that?
You're like, no.
I shit myself.
I shit myself. I was like, to be fair, same situation, probably would have to.
If I needed to poop, I probably would have pooped.
Same situation.
I just remember like, ah!
I would have shit myself.
And then Stack is back up and he starts knocking on the door.
He's like, hey, let me out.
And he fucking stabs through the door.
Dude, yeah,
and then
that
like, they're
was sick.
fucking crazy for putting their eyes like that close to the hole, knowing that he's got that big ass knife.
Sammy
in
did
there.
it once. I'm like, bro, Sammy, you about to lose an eye.
And Smoke does it too, and he sees that Stack is still alive, and he's like, "How you feeling?"
Yeah, this part was in the trailer, and I wish it wasn't, man.
Yeah.
I wish they would have just saved that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I also understand they had to get people to come see the movie
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
I just wonder what would happen if they didn't market it as a vampire movie at all.
Dude.
Almost like Abigail, where like, bro, if you would have not, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. Nobody believes in word of mouth anymore, man. That's what pisses me off.
I think Marvel killed that.
Yeah, because
Well,
like,
instant gratification too.
because like they want a good opening box office. They don't
Yeah.
care about the longevity of how long it's gonna be in theaters. Because movies aren't in theaters any fucking long anymore.
Yeah.
That's a whole different podcast. But yeah,
And he's like telling him how he lost a lot of blood, and he covers up his bite, and he says he's much better now. And then like they're talking about we're in the trenches together, which I guess they served in World War I.
yeah.
And then he starts getting aggressive, and he's like trying to get him out. And then he busts the door down because Sammy goes and looks in the hole too, and Stack runs and busts the fucking door down.
Yeah.
And Annie like throws pepper garlic on him, and he runs away. He's like fucking burning.
Yeah. Dude, whenever he busts on the door, lands right on Sammy.
Yeah, it's painful.
And then Annie's the one that says like they're vampires.
That's it. We got it. They're vampires.
They're vampires.
She also starts telling him how to kill vampires.
I'm a killer, Andy.
Yep. Grace tries to go outside to find Bo, and she's like, "No, we have to hold up until sunrise."
This is where I finally got Delta Slim's name, because he's like, buddy, it's not your fault. They've been coming after Delta Slim for years. They ain't gonna get you.
And then they find another dead body, and they drag that one outside.
Or is it a dead body?
They talk
true.
about how they need garlic, wood, silver, and holy water.
Stay through the heart, sunlight, holy water, and garlic.
And then she's like, they're talking about how that was Stack, and he's like, no, it just moves and sounds like Stack, but it's
Yeah.
not Stack.
The hate. It's a really good allegory too, because like it's cool that they incorporated it with like vampire lore, for like it's only like it's the hatred, like the soul's trapped and it's only like hatred.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cursed to live here with all the hate.
Yeah.
Because the soul is still stuck in the body, and it's like it can't even feel the sun. Like
Right.
that's how bad it is. And Smoke's like, "Do you think we can bring him back?" And she's like, "The best thing we can do is kill him. The best all I got. That's all I got." Right. And then they start talking about sunlight, sinks to the heart. Sammy blames himself. Some talking about a girl that bit him everywhere but his neck. Devil
Exactly.
came for
Delta
Slim
Slim. That's why I
before.
got his name. Yeah.
Gonna have to go through Slim to get to Sammy.
And then now they're gonna test and see if any of them are vampires, because they don't know how that one guy died. So they're like, we have to test and see if any of us are the vampires.
Because also at one point
Dude.
pans to outside, and the Irish vampires are singing again.
Yeah, because this is whenever that's whenever they take the dude outside.
Yeah.
Because they find like a dude laying there and it looks like he got bit. So they just fucking take this dude to his death sentence because he just passed out drunk.
Yeah.
And then they're doing the fucking shanty outside.
Yeah, and this is when I wrote, didn't know vampires were Irish.
And then this is also where you see that like everybody that left got killed.
Also got turned.
Because
Yeah.
there's like a fuckload of vampires
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And
So that was Grace's fucking dumb cunt fault too.
vampire music about Dublin goes hard.
Because they're the one that got them all to leave. So really, Grace is the villain of this movie. I'm just gonna say
Cornbread's dancing like a motherfucker. Rumik starts dancing. He's doing like the Irish jig.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cool little jig though.
He's going in, bro. He's going in. Irish and all that. The vampires are bringing races together, bro.
Yeah, because that's their whole thing. They're talking
That's
about.
literally like the fucking the
like
whole
they're,
thing.
Like they're like, yeah, because is this where they talk about how the Klan was going to come get them?
Not quite.
Okay,
yet.
yeah, but
I think I just put that
But
together.
yeah, this is like their whole thing of like, you know, we're trying to make a society of love.
Yeah, I wrote the vampires are bringing races together, bro. Respect in that regard. Too bad they had to kill everyone to do it.
Yeah.
Like, and then it shows everybody inside again. And this is whenever they're testing out to see who the vampire
They got to
is.
eat a clove of garlic.
Yeah, dude. And I feel their pain. 'Cause,
That would be gross.
I wouldn't want to do that.
it's not good. It's not fun.
But they're doing that because
Hey,
once
neither does
again,
Perline.
back to the dude who they took outside because they think that one of them did it.
Yeah.
I put Perline's a vampire.
Yeah, because she was like, I'm not eating this garlic. And then, like, that's when
Smoke pulls out the gun.
pulls the gun. And Sammy's like, no, she's not a vampire. And then he gets pistol whipped.
Oh, God.
Pistol whipped Sammy's bitch ass.
Yeah.
It's him right in the mouth.
He's like, hey, shut up, the adults are talking.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's like, she doesn't really like garlic, but she passes the test. And then Slim eats some,
And he fucking freaks the fuck out.
and he started talking about how he drank too much and he almost threw up. And then they're like, "Are we sure that was blood underneath that dude?" And they go and find out that it wasn't blood, and the dude is still alive.
Yeah.
He's
He's like,
banging
let
on
me
the
in,
door.
let me in, let me in.
Let me in.
And
And
then
then Cornbread sees him, and
Yeah.
he gets fucking got.
He gets tackled by Cornbread.
Cornbread got his ass. Damn. And then Bo shows up.
Starts trying to get Grace to come outside. No,
He's like, yeah, he's trying to get Grace to come out.
yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, I got the car all warmed up."
Which he says that, and I'm like, I don't think they had heat back then.
No, I don't know.
That wasn't really a thing in cars yet. I don't
Maybe
think.
just like he meant like warmed up as in like it's ready to skedaddle.
Yeah. Maybe
you know?
that's yeah.
And he's like, "All right, well then, if you're not gonna come out here, then let me back in." And then they're like, "Well, don't you fucking see what's happening?" Because Cornbread is like eating
Eating him
dude.
as he says that.
And he's like, "Nah, he's just hungry. Like it's all right."
He's like, oh well, they got him. And she's like, you fuckers.
Hey, you're gonna be blown away. Yes, cars did have heaters in the 1930s, though they weren't as sophisticated or common as they are today. By the 30s, General Motors was using engine coolant to heat the passenger compartments of certain models.
Interesting.
And they might have, because they probably had decent money running those shops.
Yeah.
You know? But then Rumik shows up, and he's like, "Hey,
This is where he's like,
this is where he talks about the Klan and stuff."
There was never anything. The Klan was gonna kill you with these guys, with these two here. They were gonna come back, and then like if I hadn't have been there, they would have got you. But I was in the right place at the right time, and we're trying. You know, we're gonna kill. We're coming after them next. We want to start a big cult of love, basically.
Yeah, he says that the world already left them all behind, but if they get together, it's better. And then he threatens to kill Lisa, and he starts talking sexy to Grace.
Yeah, in Chinese.
Because he says that he knows how she likes to be licked. And somebody says, "You're the devil, ain't you?" And I think it must be Sammy, because he says, "Sammy, you're the one I came for.
Yeah.
Your gift can bring people to me, my people." And then
Yeah, because this is where you kind of find out they're also kind of like a hive mind because
Yeah.
he turned Bo, he knows his memory, so that's why he knows Chinese.
and then Sammy like tries to go, but everybody stops him.
Yeah,
And Slim's
Sammy's like trying to for the greater good.
yeah, to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
And Slim's like, "No, he belongs with us." And Smoke's threatening to kill somebody. Maybe he's threatening to kill Rumik. Because Smoke gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Who's he gonna kill? I don't know. And he's like, "You can't save him no more than you could save your brother." And then Stack shows up. He's like, "You're not safe no matter how many guns and money you have."
Yeah, and he's like, I can't. And Stack's basically like, I don't want to do this without you. Like, we need to turn you because I'm not going to do this without you because we're brothers.
New clan based on love. Gonna go kill him. Oh, because he also says that they were gonna go kill Hogwood too.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna go kill all the Klansmen. Like they don't give a fuck. They're gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
And they're gonna bring everyone together. And I put, don't sound too bad. And then Stack's like, "Well, I'm not gonna." Oh yeah, because they're still talking.
You know, I'm sure come out and say it, bro. If they just bit me in an inconspicuous place, I don't know if I would not take that deal.
Yeah, bite me on my chest.
Yeah.
I'll wear a
No
shirt.
I'll do that shit.
I'd be a vampire for forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
If
Yeah,
we get the fuck up assholes like the Klan. I'm down.
Hell yeah.
Shit. I'd take the deal. Fuck.
I can watch every movie, read every book, play every game. Ain't pretty nice. You just have to go out at night. But
Yeah.
wintertime, bro.
And do
the
an
sun-
Irish jig apparently.
Wintertime, the sun goes down at like 5.
Yeah,
You
dude.
still have a few hours to go to the store. Just stock up. How am I going to get money? I don't know. I'm going to live forever.
I could just kill somebody and steal their money.
Probably would I do it first.
Yeah.
And then I'd figure out how to like do shit online. Like
Yeah.
selling stocks or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'd have time. I'd learn the code or something.
Yeah, exactly. Just learn how to do stuff.
At the end, Stack seems to be doing all right.
Too bad that vampires aren't real. And Zach is appealing to Smoke. They get to be together forever. They're never gonna find freedom. What's y'all's next note?
Grace is a stupid fucking cunt.
Yeah. Because like they all go back inside, and then they start Irish vampire caroling.
Yeah.
Grace is tore up about taking
And then
Lisa.
Grace is pissed, and she's getting ready to say let him in, and then the smoke covers her mouth, and she like bites him, and she's like fuck it, and then she's like you can come in. And she's a stupid fucking cunt, because why the fuck would you do that? Just fucking wait out the goddamn night, you stupid fucking bitch. But no, she didn't give a goddamn about anybody else's fucking
like,
wishes. Like what if they didn't want to die, bro?
The way it the way like it plays out, she could have just waited like
20 minutes.
Yeah, not long. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe an hour.
like an hour for them, like 20 minutes for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
She'll
dumb-
out there and kill them all. Grace going crazy.
As soon as she did that,
resolution.
I felt the heat rise within me. I was like, "You stupid fucking."
But she had that.
I get it. She's in grief. She's in shock. But damn, what the fuck?
She had that Molotov cocktail ready to
That
go.
She
she
did.
does go him. To be fair.
Yeah, and it comes back to bite her in the ass.
Yeah, it sets the building on fire. They have fight,
because like
and everything
she-
starts going
She
crazy.
throws it, and Remick fucking
Like fucking bats it out the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sets the building on fire.
And then like she
It is.
runs through the fire and fucking stabs a different one in the fucking
I think she
heart.
kills Bo.
Yeah.
I think she goes and kills Bo. Because like they
Because-
both like get set on fire together
Yeah.
and die.
A lot of this happens at once. It's kind of hard to
Yeah, this gets
Yeah.
really tough. Like everybody's just fucking
Yeah.
up vampires. Like Perlene and Sammy are in the back, like shooting guns.
Yep.
Annie,
Perlene has a stake taped to hers.
yeah. Annie, Smoke, and Slim are out there with stakes.
Smoke's doing like a Punisher thing where he's got like the fucking stake in one hand and then a gun. He's like, pow, pow,
Yeah, dude.
pow. It's fucking
Smoke's
cool
a
as
bad
shit.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he fucking is.
He's
dude.
probably like he might be. He's one of Michael B. Jordan's better characters.
I agree. Like,
You know, because
yeah.
he's a bad motherfucker.
He really
Especially
is.
a little later.
Bro, Killmonger
Yeah.
versus fucking Smoke.
I think Smoke.
That'd be a cool fucking fight.
But he's killing vampires. Everybody's fighting. Annie gets bit
by Stack.
by Stacks, and she's like,
It's basically like a checkmate because he's like he knows that like getting her will make him want to turn.
but he promised Annie that he would not let her turn, so he fucking kills her.
You activated my trap card.
He tells her that he loves her, and he fucking stabs her.
And then fucking everyone else feels it. They're like, no.
Yeah,
'Cause,
Mary's-
like that's when you first kind of see that. Like I said earlier, they're like a hive mind where like if you hurt someone else, they all hurt
But Mary and Stacks are specifically
Yeah.
upset that he did that,
because they want Smoke. Yeah,
and they go to run away,
Yeah.
or they all start running away.
like we can get the fuck out of here.
Or no, it's just them that run away, and then Slim sacrifices himself while Smoke, Perlene, and Sammy like escape up the
Up the
stairs.
stairs, yeah.
You know what would have been a good idea? Since they already had garlic, why not just like rub a bunch of garlic on the bullets?
Or even better, rub a bunch of garlic on yourself.
Well, I thought because they ate the clothes that maybe like that would come into play or something. But it's like oh shit, they're getting after me. Let me just breathe on them.
I'm talking like steak in one hand,
Yeah.
garlic butter in the other.
Don't they also hate
I'm just
holy
like,
water?
"Nee." Yeah, they hate holy water
Yeah.
too, but I don't think they had a way to make holy water.
Yeah, because none of them are priests.
Yeah,
I mean, you could probably just pray over it. Probably would have worked. the
I
same.
don't know if it works like that.
I don't either.
I'm not a.
But I'm sure the.
Does it have to be
I-
pre-blessed?
I'm
or-
sure like the lady that knew all the potions. I'm sure she
She probably could have. I
Yeah.
agree. But like Slim like grabs a bottle and like cuts his wrist and it has blood going everywhere.
Fuck, that's a cool fucking
And he
shot.
gets
He's like,
up-
you ain't gonna fucking get my ass.
Yeah, and he gets up on the stage. And,
Sacrifice.
He's like, yeah,
himself.
get over here, I got a blood.
yep, he sacrificed himself so they can get away.
Yeah.
And then
R.I.P. Slim.
Yeah.
And then the Runic guy shows up and starts attacking him. Perlene stabs him, and then she gets bit.
Yeah, Perlene gets bit.
And Smoke and Sammy start kicking this dude's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sammy like runs and jumps out the building.
And the fucking vampire like flies behind him.
Yeah.
Starts trying to drown him and baptize him.
And then while that's happening, you got brother versus brother. Stacks
Yeah.
and Smoke start fighting.
Smoke was
And then it
fucking
keeps cutting in
crazy
between.
because he kills a couple of them before he gets to fucking Stack and he's going ape shit. It's
And then it
crazy.
cuts between Sammy and Remick, and then Smoke and Stack.
Yeah.
And
And then
they-
Stack kind of gets the upper hand, but then Smoke gets it.
Yeah.
And like you think he's about to kill him, and for all we know, we thought he did.
Yeah. Then it pans to Sammy.
Runic
Yeah.
is doing the baptizing thing.
Yeah, because he starts saying the Lord's Prayer, and he's talking about how like I stopped believing, but like the words always brought me comfort of like
Yeah.
the Lord's Prayer. He
Hates
helps
the-
him finish it basically.
Hates the people, but the words bring me comfort.
Yeah.
Story of God above and devil below is all lies. And
And then Smoke saves Sammy just in time.
thing
Yeah.
Annie gave Smoke.
Well,
protection.
before that, he gets the guitar.
Yeah.
He's like reaching for the guitar and then fucking
Oh,
gets it.
also there's
Smacks
a
him in the
nice.
face.
Well, before that, there's a nice scene between Stack and Smoke where he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry that I couldn't keep you safe,"
He's like, you always did all those years.
and he says, "You always did." And then
we assume he kills him.
it shows
Sammy.
Sammy. He bashes Rumik
Yeah.
with the
guitar.
guitar.
Yeah.
And it like gets all fucks up his face.
And I assume that like that part of the guitar, since it's old timey too, I assume it was silver too, because it's still burning him.
That's what I was thinking. It was silver.
So I assumed it was silver.
And then Smoke, this is whenever Smoke's down there and he kills Rumik. And a badass motherfucker, hell yeah, man coming up. I don't know. And then the sun comes up. It's slowly coming up the whole time.
Yeah.
And the sun comes up and starts burning all the motherfucking vampires, bitch
And
ass
they
vampire
also
bitches.
they all feel the pain when he gets hit with the guitar. Like they all start holding their head like ah.
And he gets like burnt up and sent up into like a vortex.
Yeah.
And then the sun's up. Let's go, boys. And that's the
Because
end of that.
all the other ones get burnt away as well.
It's really hard to talk about that 20-minute span because so
Yeah.
much happens.
It really does.
Like basically, like all you need to know is everybody but Smoke and Sammy
Sammy
die.
Yeah. Well, and apparently Mary and...
Well,
Yeah.
We'll get there.
they're dead already technically.
Yeah.
True.
So
Dead.
But like the people
Yeah.
that were alive, they all died. Annie's dead. Slim's dead.
Perline's
Perline's
dead.
And Perline gets burnt up because she's outside
Yeah.
with the other vampires. She gets burnt up. You see her get burnt up. You don't see what happens to Slim. You just see him get like eaten alive. But I'm sure he would still turn. So he probably dies too. But anyway, next day they go get the trunk out. And he's like, you need to bury that guitar. And he gives Sammy the keys to
He's
the
like,
trunk.
he's like, I can't burn it. I can't
bury it. It's Charlie Patton's.
He's like, motherfucker, that's not Charlie Patton's. That was our dad's guitar.
And then
because he was like, oh, he's like, fucking stack lying to you. What the fuck?
And then they they hug, and Smoke's like, hey, I got some business I gotta handle.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
hands him the keys to the
you
car.
go home.
And then,
And then pans to
And
Sammy arriving to the
now
church.
we kind of pan back to the beginning. It's
yeah,
it's like a cut shot where like we're seeing him and Smoke
Smoke starts rolling a cigarette,
and like
Yep.
he's shaking and like he fucks
And
it up.
then montage of the last day plays.
Yeah.
and he's kind of seeing all of his friends and his loved ones. Yeah, it took off, and he takes off that Mojo bag and throws it.
Yeah, he's like,
Which
fuck
is a
this
bad
shit.
idea.
Saying, where the fuck?
Then he opens the trunk,
Basically, like he said earlier, like it didn't protect the baby. And, you
Yeah.
know, I had to kill fucking Annie. It's clearly not working. Fuck it.
he has a big gun,
Yeah.
a really big gun. He has a couple big guns actually.
Yeah.
One's like an SSG, and then the other one's like a fucking just a Tommy gun.
Yeah, fucking Tommy gun.
That
Yeah,
shit was sick.
and then the clan shows up with guns, and they're like, "Yeah, last night was the grand opening. Today's the grand closing." Fucking assholes. And then Sammy at the church.
Yeah, I was like, it keeps
Yeah, because it's going back and forth,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the Klansmen are trying to get into the fucking...
Yeah.
And they're like, the door's locked. And he's like, try the front door.
And Smoke is just hiding in the woods, just shooting.
Because he's like, oh, try the back door. And then as you're getting ready to walk, the one guy gets shot. He's like, what the fuck? And then
He starts sniping them from the woods.
Yeah.
And he's like laying down fucking prone position, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking badass. And he like takes out all of them with like the magazine he has in that. And then he has a Tommy gun
And then
buried.
he throws that down, and then he kicks his fucking thing. And
He has like a Tommy gun like in the ground. And
Yeah.
he picks it up and just starts lighting these motherfuckers up.
shot from the trailer, which is like still fucking iconic. Like that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool as fuck.
I love to have a poster of that, just because he's going ham. It's cool.
Killing them all. It's fucking awesome. And then like a couple of them are trying to get away in a car.
Yeah.
And he pulls out a fucking grenade and he throws it in the car, but he
That
gets
was awesome.
shot.
Yeah, he throws in the car and then walks back, and then he shoots at the guy still in the back of the truck, and that guy kind of gets him. But it's a through and through, so I don't know. Like,
I think that too. Like
Yeah.
it literally goes. It's a clean shot.
yeah,
I literally put bullet went straight through. He should be okay.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
and then he goes up and Hogwood's laying there. He's still alive. And then it's back to the church.
Yeah, and then like this is where his dad's like praying, like, please put down the guitar, leave the quote unquote sinful ways of the music.
But he's seeing Perline and Slim and himself playing.
And then we don't see the decision he made yet because like, we cut back to
Smoke. And he asks Hogwood for a cigarette.
yeah.
And he's like, why don't you go to hell?
Yeah.
But then he gives him one anyway, and Smoke lights it up, and he sits down.
Yeah, like because he succumbs to his wounds basically.
Yeah,
Like,
he's bleeding out, I
Yeah.
guess.
And as he's like sitting on the ground, he sees Annie and his baby.
Yep.
And she's breastfeeding the baby, nice. She's like, you need to put that cigarette out so you can hold him. I don't want the smoke to get on the baby.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, and Hogwood's still alive this whole
He's
time.
like, I got money, I can give you money. He empties the whole fucking
He
clip
just
of that
blows him
motherfucker.
away.
He's like, I
And then he reaches out for his baby, and he starts holding his baby, and he calls himself the Pop of the Year.
Yep.
And he also goes pause here.
And then,
Cool fucking ending for him.
Yeah. And then it cuts back to Sammy and he's driving.
well, that was the thing that they're talking about a lot. Like, even whenever Annie makes him promise that he'll kill her, she's like, somebody's waiting for me.
Yeah, on the other side.
And she's like,
waiting for you too.
They're waiting for you too. So,
Yeah.
But then it shows Sammy with the guitar. He's driving away.
Clutching it too.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not giving up my music.
And then it does a hard cut. And it's 60 years later in Chicago.
Yep.
And it shows Sammy as an old man.
October of '92.
And he's playing guitar.
An electric guitar, specifically.
And you see that his band, it's either his band or his club, is named Perlene, which was the lady that he was in love with. And then it's like a little bonus scene, and a bouncer.
He's shredding that guitar, too.
Bouncer comes in, and he's like, hey, you know, I have these two people offering me some money to come in. And he's like,
do you want to let him in? He's like, yeah, let him in. But just, you know, you have to be invited in.
It's fucking Mary and Stack.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I guess they did go and like Mary ran away, never came back, so they went and hid.
Yeah, because he's like I guess I'm the one person smoke couldn't kill. So he basically told me to promise to leave you alone.
Yeah, promise Smoke he wouldn't kill Sammy
the rest of his life.
Right.
But they're telling him like you're gonna die soon.
And then he smells it on him. I guess he's got some sort of disease or something. He's like, I could turn you right now. He's like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, he's like,
I appreciate it.
He's like, I've seen enough in my life. I've lived a good one, man.
Yeah, he says he's seen enough of this place.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we like your music, not the electric stuff. We miss the real.
Yeah.
And then they're asking if he can still play the old guitar, and he pulls it out and starts playing it for him.
Yeah.
Because he got it fixed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hell yeah, he still got it.
And he fucking shreds that thing too.
And it's cool because it shows him like when he's playing it shows him and Stack like reliving that day in Mississippi.
And then that's when it cuts like to while he's leaving. He's like, you know, they're like, yeah, you know, see you around, have a good one.
I also wanted to mention that Stack had like his name on his knuckles.
Really?
Yeah, like
sick.
he put down like $40 and he had like bling on because you know it's the early '90s.
Oh, yeah,
and it said Stack.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
And
Mary and Stack go to leave, and Sammy says that sometimes he wakes up paralyzed from that night, but that sunrise was the best of his life, and asks Stack if that was the same way for him. And Stack says, yeah, it was the last time he saw his brother, and it was freeing.
Yeah.
Because Sammy's like, that was the best, like, you know, maybe not the night, but that day was the best day of my life because I felt free.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I was like, shit, I felt that because it's like, it almost kind of reminded me of like Project X or like old, like party movies where it's like, you know, like we had a good, like, you know, minus the shit that happened, like, we had fun and like that really was like the start of his life. Like, after that he moved on, did what he needed to do, you know. So it reminded me of that, and I felt that for him, like, you know, that was the best day of my life.
And then it shows like they did all just agree that was the best day ever. And then it shows Sammy reliving riding in the back of his cousin's car with both of them.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the movie, and you get a title card.
Yep, and credits roll.
Credits roll. Well, that's another movie, Juiced.
Yeah, it was a good fucking movie.
That was a good fucking movie.
It was a good movie.
I'll give it a 9.
I was thinking 8 because
I was thinking 8
there were some parts that just went on for a little too long. There was some shit that they probably could have cut here and there. They could have probably milked this thing down to an hour 45.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe. I definitely think they could cut some, but my biggest issue with it is the
ending, man.
Yeah, it's like the not knowing when to end.
Yeah.
You know?
Because Ron Cooler's done that before too, where like we cut to the credits, but the lights are still off in the theater, and like you can tell it's gonna cut to something, and then we get like, but then like this whole extra scene there, it's a really good scene, but like why couldn't you just do that before the credits started rolling?
Yeah, like I just feel like he's just playing too much with the ending, and just like, bro, just end it.
But I still really loved it. Like people should go see it.
It's still a good movie.
So like I'm thinking a good solid 8 for sure.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9.
And I will say this is the best movie. I think this is the best movie I've seen so far this year.
Yeah,
because like I've been waiting for like one of the, you know, because we've seen good movies, but none of them have been like
released.
It's like if I had to pick one of the newer movies, I would have been like, I guess I'll pick this one, but I can't definitively say it. But I'd honestly say this is probably the best movie I've seen all year.
I would probably agree with you. All right, so
8, 9.
Yep, I'm done.
That's a movie juice.
That's another movie juiced. That's another movie.
We need a sound of a juicer.
Yeah, because it's just getting more and more extreme as the weeks go on.
All right, that's been another Movie Juice. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. You can follow us on Facebook at Movie Juice, Instagram and Twitter at Movie Juice Pod. Check out that coming soon website at www.moviejuicepod.com. If you have any suggestions for a logo, go ahead and send them in. If we decide to use it, we'll send you some money. If you have any thoughts on any movies we've already reviewed, or if you have any recommendations for any movies, or if you just want to drop a review for the pod, you can put that in the comments, or you can email us at moviejuicepod@gmail.com. Email in. We'd love to hear from you. And if it's good enough, we'll read it on the pod. All links can be found on our link tree. We are on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. You can follow us all individually on Instagram and Twitter. Our handles are in the description below. We'll be back next week with the hit 2011 action movie Drive, starring Ryan Gosling. As always, I've been Dylan.
I've been Kyle.
And I've been James. And for one last time, this has been The Juice.